Right, welcome everybody. Hope everybody is well. So it's Thursday, the 23rd of April. We've had a pretty steady week. Yesterday was one of those days where we spent a little bit of it in drawdown. But obviously came through in the end. I decided to come out, and this was us obviously watching the basket work, sort of strategy basket way of entering trades work in full flow. But because obviously we didn't need much of a recovery for it, obviously to for us to capitalize on it. So yeah, that was yeah, very good. I am keeping an eye on it. This is the beauty of journaling. I'm just keeping an eye on win rates here. And obviously I'm analyzing obviously which ones aren't obviously performing as well. I've edited in a few things into the strategy before we go into anything. I'll go into this. Although we obviously normally have five pairs or five trade ideas across five pairs, I've now kind of honed these in. So if there are two or three or one which doesn't quite line up, as obviously high, all we're dealing with here in trading is probability. So if they don't kind of add up highest probability wise, then yeah, obviously I'm not putting them in. For example, this morning we didn't put USD in, and we didn't put USD JPY, and it's in a bit of a horrible spot, which obviously we'll go through in a minute. So let's do things slightly differently today. So obviously let's have a look at what is happening. All right, so every day you don't have to understand it, you just got to be aware of it. What is happening in the markets, all right? So we've got some PMI data, which is kind of medium impact. We're obviously leading on to everyone's inflation's a little bit high, and that's going to continue across the board. So, we can't obviously kid ourselves that one economy is going to be doing better than the other, or is going to be acting differently. Why is that? Because everyone trades together, although we're all, separate, we all have an impact off of each other. So that's obviously why you tend to get a bit of a chain reaction in regards to data. So, we've got obviously a non-policy meeting, pretty much a waste of time. It's just explaining what has happened. And then obviously we've got PMI data for Euro, medium, and obviously we've got PMI data for the UK as well, medium. What I'm looking for this afternoon is jobs. All right, so because we've had these higher tensions, where not really higher tensions, but because we've had, so I'm just going to read the chat. Yeah, because we have had, tensions where basically Iran, for those of you who don't know, probably everybody does, but obviously Iran is saying to continue no negotiations. They want obviously the US to stop blockading the Strait of Hormuz. So that's obviously one thing that is escalating the dollar. Next thing is lots of remarks from Fed members about, this has kind of put everyone back a bit. So there's not going to be a rush to reduce interest rates. And I don't think there'll be a rush now. Because even if this ended tomorrow, I spoke to someone who's quite high up in property in Dubai, and he said Dubai is going to take, soon as this is over, it's going to take it, 6 months to recover and get back to where it was. I think that's going to be pretty accurate for everywhere. So it'll be interesting to, see obviously what's happening here. So yeah, that's we'll wait and see obviously how that kind of pans out. But obviously, jobs data is going to be interesting. It's always interesting. Jobless claims are supposed to have increased, and then we've got obviously continuing jobless claims supposed to increase. So obviously, jobs, the more people earning money, the more people in work, the more money being spent in the economy. That's why jobs are important. And then we also got some PMI data. So I think we're going to be gearing up for the this afternoon more than this morning. So we'll try and come out of these before sort of 1 o'clock, so then we can gear up for whatever happens. this afternoon. So right, let's hop on a chart. All right, we're currently in gold. Very, very nice. I think I am. Yeah, I'm in all three. Profit on all three at the moment. Euro USD, GBP USD, and gold. So I'm about 6K on this account this morning. So very, very happy so far. Now let's go into the dollar. All right, why are we obviously going with the dollar today? 98,500. Even this area of support here, or sorry, resistance, has cleaned straight through. So I'm looking for this to continue. Macro point of view, until obviously these battleships, I put a meme in the group yesterday, it's pretty true. You need to have a trading desk on a battleship to fully understand and make the most of this. But yeah, that's obviously what we've got to kind of go with is current. When does everything happen? All right, everything normally happens at the weekends, because obviously markets are closed and it's a lot less volatile, and potentially it's a lot easier to kind of manipulate if you want to make a bit of money out of it at the same time, which someone seems to be making a lot of money here. So yeah, on that kind of note, I do personally give a higher probability that 99 is going to be tapped as opposed to 98. So I, we've obviously got this support here now, which will be, pretty hard for it to beat. But obviously, I do favor us just pushing up to the upside and then just testing these highs here. But obviously, we're still in sort of deep waters here. We're still treading water, because until I believe until 99 is broken, there's not a clear trend, and I don't really see 99 being broken. I think as soon as this war hopefully comes to some kind of agreement, I think we're going to be straight back down here at 19,700, 898, something like that. So let's wait and see. Yields, starting to pump. All right, we're starting. We marked up these areas yesterday. If I was to mark this up here, that's obviously what we're kind of looking at here. We're testing these highs. We're breaking through these highs. That's obviously stronger for the dollar. Means obviously there's more coming into it, and obviously naturally off the back of that, stocks aren't really doing a lot. We had a big tail off during early Asia, but obviously, nothing really is happening. So yeah, there's lots of mixed reactions in regards to the stock market right now, because obviously different companies are doing well, different companies aren't doing too great. So we've obviously got to be aware of that. However, the higher the dollar is, the higher the valuation of the company is, which means the higher their stock's worth. So all things we got to take into consideration. Now, let's go to the pairs that we didn't choose today. Right, one is USD JPY. Again, you guys know why it's a horrible kind of price here. I just don't like it. We've obviously had this channel here. It looks like we've broken out. However, we also have to be aware we've got this area here, which is intervention territory. Probably a little bit higher, probably this area here. So it's kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, at the moment. Do I think we're going to drive into this area? Yes. Do I think we're going to breach this high? Yes. And then do I think we're going to tumble pretty quickly? Yes. So with that, what would our highest probability trade be? Yes, short term, but I just don't like it. I'd rather stay out and be on the sidelines here. Again, same with Aussie. Looking like we're being squeezed here. Looking like we're being squeezed. So we've got this nice for anyone who likes patterns. We got this nice flag pattern here. So let's wait and see what happens here. There's a slingshot ready to go, but I think this pair is driven by gold, and it's gonna be slow. Gold's holding but not dropping. Aussie again is holding but not dropping. There's no clear, structure here. It's very, very messy. So that's why I stayed away. Gold, like I'd said, I don't really like gold either way. Yesterday was one of the hardest days, I think, to trade gold. I think volatility on gold is definitely back, but it's got no direction. There was a couple of candles which I noticed on the 1 minute yesterday, and they were horrible candles. So if I go to something like, I think it was like middle of the afternoon, something like that, there was some horrible candles here. Um, Really, really horrible. I'm not going to be able to find it now. But yeah, lots of spikes, lots of, yeah, just nothing clean. All right. So we do have to trade gold very, very, safely at the moment. I am kind of hoping I'd like to take it down to like this area here. Not necessarily go for the full TP, but I think if we can hit this area here, I'll be pretty happy. But obviously, tapped in, no stress there, no worries. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens with gold. Euro and pound, very, very, similar here. Perfect, perfect zonal entry here by the looks of it. We've tapped in, come straight back out. Obviously, you can see here always, always, always the highest probability trade is the trend. All right. So hopefully we're going to continue this trend and then obviously make some money out of this. But no, really, really, really happy with that one. And obviously pound again as well. Well, not quite as clean, but still, trending to the downside as you can see here. Compare these two to Aussie. Aussie looks horrible. Euro, nice trend. Pound, sort of averagely trending. Obviously, we know when we're looking at, I've done a video on this actually, how to utilize different pairs. It's going to be uploaded hopefully by the end of the week. But obviously, we can always gauge what's stronger out of Euro USD or GBP USD by looking into Euro GBP. So we can see here pound is stronger than Euro at the moment. So naturally, if we're going to trade the pound against Euro, or sorry, the pound against the dollar or Euro against the dollar, we should know that obviously because Euro is weaker, if dollar is stronger, Euro is going to fall quicker. So, it's about process of elimination. So, yeah, that's about it from obviously what I was going to go through. Does anyone have any questions? Any questions at all? Let's just have a look at my pairs right now. Yeah, I've got gold and I've got, yeah, everything's blue, which is nice. Blue, blue. Does anyone have any questions? If not, we'll obviously end it here. And then obviously I'll keep you guys updated throughout the day. And I'm going to do a video on the Golden Copy, how it all works and everything. So yeah, cool. Right, right. I hope everyone has a fantastic day today. And yeah, let's smash it. Let's make sure we continue our green run. So have a good one. Oh, hold on. How will Euro and GBP PMI affect news affect us? Do you think? I think you've got to look at previous PMI data. Everyone's expecting it to come in, slightly higher. So I don't think there's going to be, that much of an impact. To be honest. I think PMI data, because it's medium, is completely different to obviously US PMI later on. Pound and euros medium impact. So I don't think it's going to have that much of an impact on the trades that we have. So yeah, I think everything's already been priced in. So yeah, all right, cool. Right. Have a great day, everyone. Make sure, obviously, if you're re-watching this on YouTube, you obviously like, comment, subscribe, because obviously it helps me out. So, yeah, right. Have a great day, and yeah, let's smash it. Have a good one, team.